Now the FP3 is here and it's gone. And certainly the Red Bull looks bad. Turning for the Red Bull is not it at all. They are struggling, really struggling. Max Verstappen especially, and his teammate Perez. Max Verstappen was not even in top 5 in the FP3, while his teammate was standing 18th in the FP3, which shows that there's still a long way for them to go. I told you yesterday about the Ferrari copying the Red Bull. Also, McLaren copied Red Bull. There are some other few teams that copied, but McLaren was able to go upward in the trajectory, while the they've nosedived now. They've really nosedived, and it is really showing that the Red Bull are not the team to beat. Now, in this FP3, like we can see, they really struggled, and it shows that if they keep going this way, next few races, the championship will be open back. The Constructors' Championship is open. It's between Red Bull and McLaren, and other teams can close up, but McLaren are looking like the favorite. But for the Drivers' Championship, if this keeps happening, it just take 3 or 4 races and championship is over. And before they get themselves and get back on track, McLaren might have gotten themselves, Mercedes are back up and doing, and where can Red Bull stand? It's going to be a difficult thing for Red Bull, certainly, because it's not looking good for Red Bull. Chrisona is not looking good for him. Coming into FP3, going to qualify, they can't find the right speed for the car. They can't find where the car is. Oh my God, it's going to be a very funny thing if the Red Bull cannot be in top 5 in this race, because if a team like Williams or us can get a little bit ahead of them, they are going to find it difficult to overtake tomorrow in the race. But leave that. We go to Williams. Williams looks very strong, especially in FP2 and F3. They're looking very strong. Their 2 drivers are in top 10 in the FP3, and they're looking very strong on their straight line. They have a ballasting speed, and that shows that the last upgrade they brought is really working. I'm not sure I told you that all the teams brought upgrades. Yeah, all the teams brought upgrades, and most are track specific, and some brought their C spec for front wing, some the rear wing, some the cover. But the upgrades the Red Bull brought is not showing, it's not translating to speed. And like I said, it's going to be a difficult one for Red Bull. Certainly, we don't see improvement, and that's how Formula One can be. Your speed can just translate down, turn down, just an instant, and you can see Red Bull in the last 3 years dominating. Now it's turning to another team, so that's how it can happen in Formula One. But for Williams, they're doing a great job. Ferrari looks pacey, they are looking very strong. Now certainly we know Ferrari in their home races, they look strong, they bring their best, they want to do the best, always looking strong. Ferrari are looking strong, and for pole position today, we are still looking at McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari. The Red Bull are not looking strong in that position. Even in long pace race, they are not looking strong, but anything can happen. It's still Red Bull. They can pull up a surprise like that at any time. Kimi Antonelli coming to F1. Mercedes have signed him officially today for 2025, partnering George Russell. But let me quickly give a caveat. That does not guarantee that he might partner George Russell in 2026 or 27. If the Max Verstappen door is still open, Mercedes are going to sign Max Verstappen. And why are they going to partner Max Verstappen with Kimi Antonelli? Let me be sincere. George Russell is not a great driver, he's a good driver. He needs to understand that if he wants to be great, he needs to act great. He needs to be more than a leader, he needs to push himself, he needs to have the extra stuffs, certainly, which he does not have now. Even with qualifying against his teammate Lewis Hamilton, it's not looking so great. Yeah, drive as in races against Lewis Hamilton is not looking so great. Decision making. So, and for someone like Kimi Antonelli, this is the top rated driver. Yes, he made a mistake yesterday, but that is not the end of his life. That's how Formula One is. You lose some, you win some, and he's coming back in Mexico to prove himself. Even if he does not do well, that does not matter. Mercedes are going to give him a whole lot of drives to get himself back. But certainly, what I can tell you is this: with Kimi Antonelli coming to F1, and with the rating, is going to be ballistic next year. And why did I say ballistic? Lewis Hamilton was a hype, was greatly looked up to coming into F1, and he did great things. Max Verstappen, same thing. And Kimi Antonelli at 18 years, Max Verstappen was 16 when he got into F1. At 18 years, he's looking wonderful, solid, and if you can turn this solid performance into something great, who says? Who says? I'm not saying he will win championship 2025 or 26, but he's a prospect and he can win it very soon or later. Leclerc was a championship groomed driver, and he deserves a championship. But Antonelli is great. From what we have heard and seen about him, that boy has future, he knows where he's going to, and deserves the opportunity he's getting. And I see him winning championships. Certainly, I might still make a video about him to analyze that. In 2019, karting series winning, European series, F4 jumped to F2, now to F1. Wow, what a move! I know why Mercedes are doing this. They don't want to lose him to other teams, and they know they don't want to miss that talent. So that they get him now. So I think George Russell should keep praying that Max Verstappen should not decide to leave Red Bull as soon as possible because he won't get Mercedes seat. To Colapinto, let me quickly talk about Colapinto. For the South Americans and the Argentine, congratulations. And for the Williams team, I think he's doing a great job for Williams, especially this race. He's doing a very, very great job. And he's just some few tenths behind his teammate. That's great for him coming from F2. And to Logan Sargent, sorry you got sacked, but that's Formula 1 for you. And to Colapinto, I think the sky is the limit. It's just for a few races, for 9 races. And I hope Williams will look at it and be like, yeah, we still made a great decision signing Carlos Sainz. Yeah, certainly. So there was an opening before they signed Colapinto. Colapinto is their junior driver. He's their driver as in like a reserve driver, and they are looking at Liam Lawson, who looks like a good driver for them, and also Mick Schumacher. But Mick Schumacher, like James Vowell says, he said he's not a great driver. He's just a good driver. So why sign when they think they prefer Liam Lawson, which they cannot get? So they prefer to go for their own groom driver. And I think it's the best thing they should have done, because where do they put those guys after grooming them? It matters. So I think it's the best decision they've made. To me, I wish them well. And to the tires are failing, and it shows, especially for Ferrari and Mercedes, they are losing tire grip. The McLaren still looks gentle on tire. Red Bull looks gentle on tire, but it will be a war of strategy for the race tomorrow. Though Mercedes did some long runs on the soft tires and on the medium tires, the Ferrari also did the same. Let's see how it works for them. But certainly, I think it's going to be great seeing how these guys turn up and do in the qualifying and translate it to race. If Red Bull continue this way, I don't see them coming pole or top 5 in qualifying at the end of today. But I still think it's Red Bull, they can do anything. But I still think it's between the Mercedes, McLaren, and the Ferrari. But let's see how it turns up for these big teams and how they are able to translate this into possible wins. But like I said, Red Bull can still do some magic like they've always done, and they come up with a big qualifying. But looking at it, it's going to be something like a big turnaround in the season for Mercedes and for Ferrari if they can do a very good job in qualifying and the race tomorrow. Ferrari is already doing a good job, though they've not been there, but they can't be a benchmark. But this preparation for next season will be a good preparation for them. But where will they turn their heads to? Where will all these teams turn their heads next season? That will be the last car for this generation of cars. Where will they turn their heads to? It's going to be great looking at that and seeing what these guys can do. But it's going to be funny how the qualifying will be and how the race will be tomorrow. But for you to know more about the qualifying, I give you much lowdown and much highlight after the qualifying. It's going to be bananas. It's going to be very interesting.
Wow. See, sometimes when I say go and look at something or look at what I'm saying, you guys need to believe it. I've been saying it since yesterday that this qualifying will be a little bit in bangers, especially the times will be so close. And here it was. The times are so close. Let me just start from Q1 because this went ballistic. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, the seats are still overheating. Really overheating, that they are still complaining about these overheating issues on the seat. I don't know how those guys will do it tomorrow. Maybe they'll be sitting down on block, or they'll have to be going in. It's a 53 lap race, so I think every 25 laps, so it could be a one stop. So before they move out, they have to pour water on the seat, and if they pour water on the seat, it will be easier for them by lap 25 or so. Depends on the tire in which they are using. I think they'll be using medium to start. So by the time they're coming in for hard tires, I think they'll have to pour cold block on the seat because the flank touching the ground and that tarmac overheating is really affecting this car's delivery, and these guys are suffering from it. I don't know for other teams, but Lewis Hamilton is really complaining about it. And when you look at this, you'll be like, what are you going to do about it? They said nothing, but they need to do something about it. And whatever they will have to do should not have to wait to the necessary wait. Leaving that, Q1, we had Norris coming out to say, this qualifying, you guys forget about it. We are setting the pace already quite early and flourishing, and that was what they did. In Q1, Norris, Piastri, Sainz. The McLarens are fast, and at the end of Q1, we have Tsunoda, Stroll, Colapinto with a mistake on his last run, Bottas and Zhou out. The stake team might be the worst team Formula 1 has ever recorded. It is not delivering at all. I don't know what is wrong with them, but they are not delivering. And in Q2, we had Hamilton scoring all the lap times from everywhere, doing his best. But all in all, he did a good job in Q2. But at the end, you have Alonso, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Gasly, and Ocon out. But you know the funny thing, the top 5 were separated by just 2 tenths. So at that point, we already knew this thing is going to get more scoring and much more crazy. Now, the first run in Q3, we had Verstappen 8, Perez 7. And now look at the order. For provisional pole, we had the 2 McLarens in front, Norris, Piastri. The 2 Mercedes right behind them, Russell, Hamilton. Then we have the 2 Ferraris behind them, Sainz, Leclerc. Then we have the 2 RBs, Perez, Verstappen. Then we have Ocon, Albon. It looks crazy, seriously. But you won't know how crazy it is until the second run. When Lando Norris, even himself saying, no, he didn't really do well. I'm like, God, what are you talking about? The qualifying is not okay, and you set another 1/10 of your time and you're like, qualifying is not okay. What if the qualifying will be okay? This guy is not serious. Set another fast lap, giving it a 110 to the time he set before, and Piastri nicking it second, and George Russell gave a lap of his life to be some few tenths, just 1/10 also behind him. Leclerc 4th, Carlos Sainz 5th, Lewis Hamilton 6th with 1/10, 8 milliseconds behind this guy. That is the top 6 for you. Less than 2/10 for the top 6. That shows how close the qualifying in Monza was. Now we have the championship leader, Max Verstappen 7th, Perez 8th. Max Verstappen 7/10 behind Lando Norris. Wow. And his teammate also 7/10. Then Albon 9/10. Hulkenberg is second behind. But the funny thing is that we need to really look at this. How will the race pan out tomorrow? The slipstream is certainly going to be beneficial. And I hope Russell can take advantage and the Ferrari also can take advantage. But on raw pace, I think Lewis Hamilton still looks strong. Also, the McLarens look strong. They look strong, and I'm giving the race to McLaren, and I still believe it's a Mercedes podium all through tomorrow. It could be Hamilton, it could be Russell on the 3rd step, but it is a Mercedes race tomorrow. It's going to be a dry race. It's not that I'm not giving the Ferrari a vote of confidence, but I think from what I'm looking at, they're a good team, but they still lack the long pace run, and this upgrade they just brought, by the time they're going to the next race, they will be able to improve on it and get better with it. But certainly, from what I'm looking at, I can tell you, this race is in the hands of the Mercedes engine, and this shows why Alpine wants to go for Mercedes engine. It shows that the Mercedes engine is still the best engine on the grid. And that's a second to it, should be the Ferrari engine. RB engine, I don't know how they are going to do it, but it shows that they are suffering a lot of engine issues. And I think now they've been taking penalties for engine, while others have not started taking penalties at all. RB, Red Bull, and their sister team have been taking penalties on engine. So how will they cope to the end of the season? Next, how will they cope? Now in 2026, the regulation changes. How will they cope with reliability issues on engine? Well, with Honda coming back and Aston Martin moving to on, I wonder what Lawrence Stroll will be thinking and what they will be thinking in Aston Martin now. How will they cope? Aston Martin should have seen that the problem is not the Mercedes engine, or how they have to design to fix them. Even Williams are looking strong, so they should now be seeing that it is them are the problem. Aston Martin is their own sole problem, so they need to deal with that. And I think the race tomorrow will be very interesting. Don't miss the analysis. It's going to be a very good analysis, and I can trust you. You're going to love the race. Catch you tomorrow. Bye. Cheers.